Forgot how bad that song was. All right, folks. Let's start the show. Hold up. One more time. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 109 of the NZXT podcast, the official podcast of the NZXT community. This show is recorded live every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the official NZXT Twitch, and is available to stream on demand on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So do us all a favor, go save some puppies and kitties, because we love all the animals here. My name is Dennis, and with me, as always, is Ivan.
No one can hear me.
Yes, I can.
And my name is showing up on the camera for some reason.
It's because we're on Google Meets today. We're going way back to the old days. Yeah, to the old days.
I like how you cropped your name out, but you doxed mine instead.
I cropped my name out because for some reason you're like on a square. For some reason, like I don't know. It's weird. I can't. I'm not gonna mess with it. It works. I'm not touching it because when it comes to live production, you touch anything, it usually breaks. So, enough about my finger, enough about Ivan not being able to be heard and ruining another podcast. We have a special guest. Today's special guest is Joanna or Joe, and is it Puzo?
Yes.
Okay,
Puzo. Yeah.
Puzo from UK-based animal rescue Battersea. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
Super excited to have you on. I heard that we have some other special guests joining us later on today. We'll get to that in a minute. Hopefully everyone watching live can enjoy that. If you're not watching live, if you're listening off the air, listening on demand, just know that we still love you very, very much. So Joe, can you let us know what you do at Battersea?
Yes. So I'm the feline welfare manager at Battersea, which means that I'm basically the buck stops with me when it comes to the welfare of the cats in our care. So I oversee the welfare of all of the cats in our care, and we have 3 sites. We've got Battersea Dogs and Cats Home in London, and then we have another site in Old Windsor and another site in Brands Hatch, which you guys may not know what that means, but there are other sites in the UK. And I oversee the welfare of the cats, make sure that they are being managed really well, they're happy, they're healthy, and that they, have a nice smooth journey through to their new homes.
Has anyone ever told you that the name Battersea sounds like kind of evil?
No, not until you said it. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, man, that sounds almost like a fictional Viking village in Game of Thrones or something. I don't know. It's just like a very powerful sounding name.
So we're named that way because right next door to us is the Battersea Power Station. It's quite a famous London landmark, which has been there for a few decades. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but we're literally right next door to it. So we've just become Battersea Dogs and Cats Home.
That's actually really cool. How many animals would you say you guys rescue a year?
So amongst our 3 sites, dogs and cats, we care for about 3,000 dogs and cats every year.
That's a lot.
So we're pretty big. Yeah, we're quite a big, well-known charity, animal rescue charity. So we do rescue quite a few dogs and cats and rehome them.
Do you guys rescue any other animals or just dogs and cats?
So just dogs and cats, but I mean, we've certainly had our fair share of hamsters, ferrets, rabbits. I think we may have had some snakes as well, but we do just specialize in dogs and cats.
Has anybody ever tried to bring in like a pig or something?
Not that I'm aware of. It's not. I don't think it wouldn't be unheard of.
What's the
Um,
what's like the most exotic animal someone said they needed help with that you can recall?
oh, my goodness. I mean, we certainly get, we get calls for help for maybe reptiles and
Hmm.
things like that.
Right.
We, other than maybe the odd snake, I don't think we've ever actually taken any in. But that's probably about as exotic as it gets. Certainly birds as well. We've had
Yeah.
birds brought in a few times. Yeah.
How long have you been doing this, like saving animals?
Battersea. So we were established in sort of the 1800s, and
Really?
we
What?
are one of the oldest. Yeah, we're one of the oldest animal rescue charities in probably in the world. We were established by a lady named Mary Tilby, who just started rescuing. It started with dogs, rescuing dogs off the streets, and then we started taking in cats in sort of the early 1900s, and yeah, it's just gone from strength to strength since
I,
then. So we're quite old and well established.
I remember I heard this crazy story. I don't know if this is true. This happened in, I believe it was London in the 1800s, where there was like some sort of like, I guess it was a war or something going on. But anyway, like I guess people were fighting, and they actually had to call a truce in the middle of this war they were going through because all these like rabid dogs started attacking everyone, and then like the two sides like worked together to like kill these dogs, I guess, and then started fighting each other. I don't know. Have you ever heard anything about that?
I
What
can't
the?
say that I have. I'm afraid. No.
I thought that story was going in like a different direction, like they're fighting in trenches and they're about to like shoot, and then
Yeah,
they see like a pack of kittens and they all have to stop and like save the cats, and like no, they just
yeah.
Come
It
together
was
to,
like
complete
I
opposite.
swear I've heard that story before. I don't know where I heard it. I was just wondering if it was true or not. It's probably made up, for all I know. But
no,
that's
I'm
crazy.
afraid I don't
The
know.
1800s. Wow, that's a long time. How about you?
Yeah.
How long have you been saving animals?
Oh gosh, I've been working with animals myself for probably about 15 years. So I started out in the States and then started working over here about 12 years ago. And I've been at Battersea for 6 years now.
So is that
So
why you don't have a British accent?
I suppose, yeah, I'm kind of a mutt really. My dad's American, my mother's Irish. So um, yeah, I don't really have the either. I don't think it's a very strong American accent, but I don't certainly don't have an English accent. That's for sure.
Yeah. Um, what are I guess like what are some of the big challenges that you run into running or working at Battersea?
Mm. I mean, certainly just, we are always having to take in dogs and cats when owners are going through difficult situations or for various reasons, like, if they've had a new baby or for allergies, or, if the landlord doesn't allow a pet in the home. So
Mm,
it's always sad that an owner has to give up their animal for those reasons. But obviously that's why we're here. And certainly during COVID as well. We had quite a few. We had a few dogs and cats coming in post COVID. Because a lot of people wanted to get a dog
Yeah.
or cat during COVID and lockdown, and then afterwards realized that they couldn't take care of them once they were going back to work. And we do get our fair share of welfare cases. So maybe cats or dogs that come into us in a bit of a state and they need to be nursed back to health, both physically and their emotional well-being as well is
Right.
compromised.
I've actually gotten in trouble by a animal rescue place and got yelled at by people that worked there. Like it was really interesting actually because this was like probably 15 years ago. Um, my my family we were visiting Mexico, and there was like a construction site, and my sister she found this little puppy dog. It was tiny. It was maybe like a week old, but this dog, you can tell right away it was really sick. It had
Mm,
no fur on it. I think it had like some teeth marks on its legs, and
gosh.
it was sick, and it was actually eating dry concrete, and
Aw.
we felt really bad, and
Mm,
we were like, let's save this dog because if we don't save it, it's gonna die out here. So
mm.
we actually smuggled it across the border. we,
Okay.
Yeah, so we smuggled this dog across the border, and the first thing we did was take it to animal rescue because we didn't know where to do, with the dog. We just wanted to save the dog, and so we took it to the
Yeah.
animal rescue. And the first thing they did was like, "What the hell? Why are you guys bringing this dog in here? Like, can't you see it's sick? It's gonna infect all these other animals, and you shouldn't be smuggling animals across the border, and that's illegal and all that." Like, they were really upset at us, but in my mind, we were doing the right thing. But I guess they raised some really good points because we could have caused some serious harm. Thankfully, no other animals got sick, but they told us, all right, we're gonna take the animal in, we're gonna quarantine it, but just so you know, this dog's really sick and it looks like it might die, but just come back in a week or two and we'll see how things are. And we came back, and I think 2 weeks later, and the dog was like 3 times the size, didn't even look the same, and we were like, "Is that the same dog?" And they said, "Yeah, it's the same dog. It's healthy now. You guys can take it home." So
Oh.
we took it. Yeah, we took it home, and little did we know that dog ended up being a Great Dane.
Oh wow.
It ended up becoming this giant, massive dog that was in our family for a really long time, and yeah, he's passed away now. But it was interesting to me. Like, I always thought like animal rescue was just like you can just drop off any animal on the doorstep and they're gonna take care of it. But no, that's not the case, right?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we definitely get people who kind of turn up with a very sick animal or an animal they can no longer care for, and we'll certainly do everything we can. But every rescue is probably, they have to think about their population they have, and anything that coming in, could potentially put that population at risk. Having said that, there's usually things like isolation areas and quarantine areas for cats and dogs like that. But it's just human nature, isn't it? You see something that's, sad and sick and tiny, and you want to help it. And sounds like he certainly had a good life.
Yeah, and I guess speaking of animals, how about you show us some of yours? Do you mind giving us a little tour over there and showing us what you got?
Yeah, I can take you guys just down through the cattery. Now I'm going to try to reverse the camera. Okay. So that you can actually see where I'm going. I am not very tech savvy, just FYI.
Okay, so neither are we.
Yeah, Sam.
Actually, neither is Dennis.
Yeah.
Right. Let me not cover the camera with my hand. That might be helpful. So this is one of the. One moment. Let me move that. There we are. One of the floors of the cattery. We actually have 3 floors because, we just have 3 floors. The first floor is the rehoming floor, which is where the cats that are kind of ready for rehoming will be waiting for their new home. The floor that I'm on now is our maternity floor. So maternity usually means kids.
Uh-oh. I think we're losing Joanne a little bit.
Let me see. I do have, hey guys. So this is their pen. You'll see that they are quite messy. They just love ridiculous things like bits of shredded paper. That to them is amazing. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to introduce you to this lovely. Hi guys. Let me make sure nobody escapes while I'm walking in.
I think this might be a Twitch first, like us having cats on stream at an animal rescue.
So cute.
Oh my god, look at the kitties.
And let's just sit down so I can. Here we are. So these are called the M kittens because sometimes the way when we are inundated with kittens, we kind of go through the alphabet and naming them so that we can kind of keep track of who's who. So
what's that? Is that a purple puck on the floor there? I see. What's that purple thing on the floor?
Purple?
Yeah, there's like a little purple toy on the floor. Do you mind showing us?
I guess just like a little horse.
Oh, there we go. I thought it was actually one of these things I have right here.
This is the greatest show that we've ever had, Ivan. This is probably my favorite episode so far. Let's get to stare at cats for an hour and a half. It's a horse poochie.
That's funny.
We should make a horse poochie. Oh my god, look at that one.
Let's see if he wants to have a little.
Oh my god.
I get my knee out of the way. Can I have that back? So yeah, these guys came into us. because unfortunately, during lockdown, what happened, at least over here, is a lot of the vets could only see animals for really essential emergency operations.
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of owners had to wait to get their cats neutered. And that meant that potentially there were some unwanted pregnancies. And these guys were the result of a member of the public's cat that she wasn't able to get neutered during lockdown. Now, luckily, the vets are all back up and running and everything's fine. But yeah, this was a litter of kittens that came about sort of accidentally.
So are they all related?
Yeah, this is one litter. There's 5 of them. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be another ginger. Oh, he's sleeping. I don't know if you can see. He's kind of tucked in.
Oh, like, they're all related and they all look different. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can actually have different dads to one litter.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the female, when they, this is a bit of a lesson here in reproduction, but when the female goes into season, essentially all the males come out of the woodwork. You know, she's scent marking to advertise that she's available, and you know, she can mate with more than one male, and oftentimes the kittens can actually have more than one dad.
That's
Oh my god, that's so cute. It's crazy.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Can any other animals do that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if other animals that have multiple, I guess, mating partners can potentially have maybe dogs as well. I know certainly cats. Oh, he's woken up now, so he's come to say hello.
Yeah. Yeah. So you call this the cattery? Is where you keep the dogs? Is that called the doggery?
No.
What do you guys
That's
call the dog ward?
Just the kennels. So yeah,
Kennels.
cattery is, I guess, I don't know if that's a British word, but cattery, where if somebody's going away on holiday, they'll board their cats in a cattery, or a cattery is, you know, where cats that are looking for homes, and then yeah, just kennels for the dogs.
So are all these cats, are they eventually all going to get adopted? Is that the plan?
Yeah. Yep. So they'll all, yeah, be neutered and vaccinated and treated for, you know, preventatives like fleas and worms. And we also microchip over here, and then they
Nice.
will eventually go to new homes when they're not eating bits of paper. Hey.
Yeah, we just here at my place we adopted a cat. I think it's like 3 months ago now. I don't even know, and it was the same process. Like she had her shots, she was neutered, she was chipped and everything. So it was really cool. That adoption rescue process was really lengthy because we had to apply, then they did like a phone interview, and then we had another interview, and then that's when we were actually able to like choose a cat. Then we had to go meet the foster mom, and that was a process. And she basically had to make sure that she liked us, and then
Oh wow.
and then we were able to take the cat home with us.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, most rescues will have kind of an application process, and for us, we have what's called a matching process. So we just make sure that your home environment and what you're looking for, and also what you can provide, matches what the cat's needs are, and the type of home that the cat is looking for. And we have a team of rehomers that basically do that matching process just to ensure it's a lifelong match, and these guys are set for life. Oh, I don't know. He's coloring. Hello.
Do you ever, like these cats and just keep them for yourself if you really want them?
Well, no, I already have 2 cats of my own, and they're very happy just being the 2 of them. As much as I'd love to take more, yeah, I think maybe not. There's always the odd favorite that you think, oh, I'd love to take him home, but I would always go for an older cat over a kitten.
How far can you guys send these cats to, like if someone in the United States of America wanted to adopt one of these, can you like mail one over here?
Unfortunately, no. So we do adopt throughout the UK. But if somebody does get in touch with us, because we have had cases where people have gotten in touch, from Spain, I think, and even we had when we do a big push for like a social media push for a cat. Oh, we're gonna watch them use the litter tray. When we have a
Yay.
social media push for a cat who maybe has this sort of a funny look or a really sad story, we'll get people from the States, from Canada, from Australia asking if they can rehome the cat and if we can send the cat to them. But unfortunately, no, that wouldn't be in the best interest of the cat. And we always say that it's best to go with a cat who's, with a rescue center that's closer to home, because there's cats all over the world looking for homes. Hi, guys.
Do famous people ever go in there and adopt animals?
Yeah, we've had a few famous adopters. So the one and only Tom Hardy adopted a pair of kittens from us, and I believe he's adopted a dog from us as well. He's
That's
one
cool.
of our he's one of our ambassadors. He's always kind of doing bits and pieces for us and plugging Battersea. He's great. And we've also had Jerry Hallowell, who you'll know as Ginger Spice. So she's adopted. I'm not going to show you the guy in the litter tray. Let's go to this guy here. She's adopted a little dog from us as well. And we've also rehomed cats so we rehomed Larry, who you might know as the Downing Street cat. He lives in 10 Downing Street in the Prime Minister's residence.
Oh, cool.
And he's quite a famous cat. Yeah. Where are you going?
Yeah, I have a toddler, and she recently discovered the cartoon Garfield. So she's like obsessed with cats now. And she has like this little cat toy that she walks all the time. So you probably have to get her a cat one of these days.
I think you should. I mean, yeah, cats and kids. We are always for rehoming cats to live with children, because then you can teach them to be respectful and compassionate and how to appropriately, interact with animals. So it's always great to kind of start them off young.
Yeah, is there a reason why cats don't like me? Because I've had cats before in my life, and like they've always hated me. Like I actually have scars on my hands.
Seriously?
From being attacked by cats, and like I've never met a cat that liked me. Is there like a particular reason why a cat would, like, I don't know, maybe it's the way I smell or something? Maybe want to like.
Well, I mean, it could be. So one of the biggest things that cats look for in a person is someone who's actually, if you were to just completely ignore a cat, they will probably come up to you and want to interact. Whereas the more that you're trying to kind of go after them and, like, oh, come here, kitty, 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 and kind of wanting that interaction, that's when they'll sort of, skedaddle and run off the other way. So it could just be the way in which maybe you're approaching them or interacting with them that they don't see, they're not keen on.
I guess you know what it is. I do stare at them. Because
that could be seen as quite scary for them. That direct eye contact. So that's.
She's saying you're mean, Ivan.
No,
she's saying you're a mean person, and cats don't like you because you're meanie.
Have you ever looked like a cat straight in the eyes? Like they look so. I don't know what it is. Like their eyes are like, you can like look into their soul or something, and it feels like they're like staring into yours. It's like really, really interesting. I guess I'm gonna just start ignoring cats then, so they can start liking me.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I was really worried that like our cat wasn't gonna like me either, because I've never had a good experience with cats. And then the one we got, she's like the sweetest thing ever. She's like super nice. Except when she like bites my nose and like I'm trying to sleep, she just like walk up to my chest, purring as loud as you possibly can, and then takes a chomp onto my nose and just walks away. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks.
Maybe she's trying to wake you up for breakfast, or I don't know.
She does it to be a jerk. There's no rhyme or reason.
The interesting thing too about cats to me is that I feel like they don't even need owners, like, to be honest, because like they're very independent, like right now my parents, they actually have, like, I'm not even exaggerating, they have like a dozen cats that they go to their backyard every day to eat, because my mom started feeding them, and then like they'll disappear like the entire day, and then they'll come back at night or whatever. But I have no idea what they're doing throughout the entire day. Like they're not in my mom's backyard, so I don't know where they're at. And I almost feel
Yeah.
like they can kind of survive on their
Hmm.
own. Is that true? Do you think like cats are
Yeah.
more independent than dogs or any other animal?
Well, I mean, the argument is that cats really aren't fully domesticated because with dogs, domestication was essentially we domesticated dogs. We chose to kind of domesticate them for our, for our uses. Whereas cats chose to domesticate themselves when they started coming closer and closer to human settlements and hunting and, providing rodent control around sort of grain settlements and things like that. And so we didn't really impose that on them. They chose to do that themselves. And so you can argue that they're not even fully domesticated. There is still that wild animal in there, and that's why they can be quite self-sufficient. In London alone, there are thousands, maybe even millions of feral cats, and those are cats that are not socialized to humans. They live completely. I mean, they may, scavenge for food, and they may be fed by people who leave food out for them. But other than that, they're really quite self-sufficient. They don't really have homes, and they're happy. They thrive. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, cats are kind of still. What are you doing? Are kind of still wild animals.
Yeah, because
Unlike
like
a lot
you have a dog and your dog runs away,
Mhm.
like that dog is gonna have a really hard time,
Yeah, yeah,
finding food and finding shelter and all that, right? So that's interesting.
yeah. No, cats are much more self-sufficient. That's why people think they can be quite independent because they can go off and hunt and do kind of explore and have fulfill those natural behaviors quite happily while you're out at work or that kind of thing. Whereas dogs are much more reliant on people.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
So
yeah.
so you said you have two cats. Do you have any dogs?
No, no dogs. The cats won't allow it, I'm afraid.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's sad.
I am a cat person. I will admit it.
Yeah,
What
we got our puppy first, and then we got the cat, and the cat doesn't allow the dog. So
Yeah.
she's she's pretty much taken over the home.
is
Cats
it
do
true
seem to
that
be the
is
boss.
it true that cats and dogs hate each other?
They are just sorry. I'm just adjusting myself here. It depends. If you introduce them appropriately, they can get along quite well. But anything that the cat isn't used to or hasn't sort of grown up being exposed to can be quite scary for them, and that includes dogs. That includes children. So with kittens like these guys, for example, we try to socialize them really well, so they're pretty robust and socially able to cope with a busy household or maybe living with a dog, things like that. So it's all about the socializing and how much they're exposed to when they're young. Hi.
Do you have a favorite cat breed?
I like the domestic short hair, which over here we just call them moggies. Basically, just your
Moggies.
typical old-fashioned cat. Um, Somebody's using the toilet. You might hear that noise over there, so that's what that is. It's just them
Moggy Clat.
scraping the litter
Oh,
tray.
okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've seen
I
this
might
this breed.
actually take you next door to one of our adults and leave these guys to
Yeah, let's check them out.
we, if
I
that's
don't
okay.
know. I kind of love kittens. I mean, that one's
Really?
just chilling. It's just great. Like, it's almost like the cat's talking to us,
I can
right?
stay here with these guys if you like.
No, for sure. Let's see what the other guys got going on. So you're saying that.
Okay.
So you're saying that you guys have a maternity ward?
Yes, so we have an area that we house our mums and kittens on, and that just means it's a little bit more quiet, so that if we have any pregnant cats or
Uh huh.
just turn back. Ooh, that's a smelly one. Sorry. Excuse me. Can you move out of my way? So if we have any queens or cats who are giving birth, then it's a nice quiet area for them. All right, I'm just gonna. Excuse me, guys.
You should call it the caternity ward.
That's a good one.
That's not a bad idea, actually. We missed out on that. Huh?
There's always time to
Okay,
change it.
I'm gonna introduce you to Pepe.
Pepe. That's an awesome name for a cat.
Pepe the cat.
Yeah, Pepe the
Hi,
cat.
Pepe. Hi, bud. If he's actually interested. Hey. So he is 13, so he might be sound asleep. Oh, hi. He doesn't want want to get up. Well, he's actually sound asleep. He's looking very content. You want to come down? Come on, buddy. No. I think we're going to have a no-show.
Oh, no.
Right. I can find someone else who's, it is sort of past their bedtime, so some of the cats may be having a snooze. Who's that meowing? Oh, it's Nala. We definitely don't want to meet Nala.
Oh, no?
Why not?
So Nala is a cat who, I'm just going to go get my keys so I can open up another pen. She's a cat who we've deemed would actually be, keys, thank you, much better suited to living in sort of a farm or a stables.
Oh, interesting.
So not only do we rehome cats to pet homes, but we also find homes for those cats that aren't really socialized to people and would actually be much better living in like a farm or a stables. And they have free run of the place. They're cared for by someone. They have food and water and shelter.
Right.
Hi.
So those are the ones that go to the Tiger King?
Nope, definitely not. No.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that show?
I did, yes. It was quite riveting, I have to say. Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, it was like it was super interesting to me because I guess there's like, you know, just cats in general, like this cat right here that you have, you know, like this regular just domesticated cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very similar to like, you know, these like giant wild cats that you see on like you saw on that show, I guess, like tigers and whatnot. Are they? I guess how closely related are they to, you know, lions and tigers and all that?
I mean, same, gosh, I have to go back to science now. So same not genus. They're different species. I mean, they're not really, there's certainly similar attributes, but they're far enough removed that, you know, you could never really domesticate a lion or a tiger or a cheetah or anything like that, whereas domestic, you know, cats can be domesticated, can be tamed, so to speak. So, you know, that's why you often get those incidents where you've got a lion or a tiger who's been living as a pet, and something happens where they end up, you know, attacking someone or their owner. Yeah, so they're quite different. We would never condone having a big cat as a pet.
Are ligers real?
I think they are. I think they are a hybrid that has been, you know, created through the breeding of two different species. Not, yeah, not the most ethical thing, but yeah.
This is the best podcast ever. Just staring at cat butts all day. So, Joe, can we hear a little bit about Gaming to the Rescue? Because we heard it's a pretty big event for you guys, and it's supposed to help out a lot, right?
Well, yeah. So Gaming to the Rescue is basically, I don't know if it's like a campaign, but it's a way of allowing gamers to support Battersea. And so basically you can, I'm not a gamer myself, so if I use the wrong words and things, do correct me. But
No worries.
You can game while fundraising, so like live streaming while you game. And fundraise for a charity like Battersea.
It's okay. Dennis isn't a gamer either. It's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I dabble. I dabble.
Yeah, and one of the prizes you can win is a custom wrapped NZXT PC, and it's, you know, it's wrapped in like cool doggy and kitty art. So for anyone that's interested in that, you can go to nzxt.co/Battersea and participate. You say you're not a gamer, but have you ever played a video game?
So yes, my first gaming console was a Sega Genesis. Mm-hmm. And it was Sonic and Golden Axe, and yeah, I can't remember what else, but then moved on to Nintendo, and now I have an Xbox. and I'm really into Assassin's Creed. I've just discovered.
How come you're saying you're not a gamer and you're telling me you have an Xbox and you're into Assassin's Creed and all this?
Well,
are you saying Xbox gamers don't count?
No, not at all. I just don't know what the definition of a gamer is.
Okay, so your definition of a gamer, you play video games. If you play video games, you're a gamer.
Pretty much,
I'm a gamer then.
That's cool. Yeah.
All right.
You probably, but maybe you feel that way because you don't play a lot, right? How much video games are you playing?
I go through phases. So right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I guess I play maybe like a couple hours a week.
That'd be funny, Dennis, if she plays more than us and she's saying she's not a gamer.
Yeah, I'm not really a gamer. I only play like 20 hours a day.
What's your definition of a gamer, Joe?
Well, so I would think somebody who has like the headset and they like talk to people online, while they're playing, and they have a special chair.
You heard it here first, folks. If you don't have a gamer chair, you're not a gamer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's funny.
It's actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah, so what else? What other prizes can people win through Gaming to the Rescue besides the custom wrap PC?
Oh gosh, there's a question. I think there's like gift certificates maybe. I think you guys might know more about the prizes than I. I do
see hoodies and shirts and tote bags and things like that.
Oh yeah. So various paraphernalia.
Yeah. So I was trying to pull it up, but I'm having some issues right now because internet stuff. But the way that you would do it is basically here. I can actually pull it up here. We just won't have any cameras for a bit, so this will be fine. This is for charity, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect. So let me just turn off my dark reader because I have this dumb thingy on here. Okay, so the way it works, folks, is Gaming to the Rescue. So basically, it's if you guys are familiar with like Gamers for Giving or Let's Play or other charities, it works very similarly. Where if you're a streamer or if you're someone who wants to get involved and help raise some money, what you do is you basically do something like you choose a challenge, whether we're gonna stream, we're gonna speed run, whatever it is. It could even be let's walk 5 miles every day, right? And then you create your fundraising page through Tiltify or Just Giving, depending which one you like or which one you're able to do. And then as you raise money for this charity, you can earn some cool stuff like a tote bag if you raise 100. I believe it's pounds, right? 100 pounds, 350 pounds, or 500 pounds, you get a shirt or a hoodie. So you guys should follow me on Twitch because I want that hoodie. I'm gonna get it shipped to myself. It's just basically a way for you folks out there on the internet to get involved and help raise some money, help save some kittens and puppies, and do a little bit of good.
Yeah, and the money goes to the care of all the cats and dogs. In our care. I believe the stat is it's about 500 pounds per animal per week.
Oh wow!
To care for these guys. So yeah, because obviously we neuter everyone and vaccinate them, and then feed food and litter and toys and all sorts. So everything goes to the cats and dogs. And Marina here. This is Marina, by the way.
I was gonna say that if you guys are spending $500 per animal, then I'm not taking care of my animals well enough.
How much is 500 pounds in dollars?
Yeah.
Do you know how much 500 pounds is in dollars, Dennis?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
I don't know.
It's about $750, maybe. $750.
Wow.
Dollars.
So yeah, Dennis, you're not taking good care of your cat.
I'm not.
You're spending $750 a week on your cat.
I'm not. I need to be better. My cat's sad because I'm a terrible owner. That is such a cute cat.
So that's cool. All the money raised from Gaming to the Rescue goes straight to the animals, huh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
so
I
I
just
guess
did.
the money goes to like vaccinations
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I mean
Food.
everybody gets
microchipping.
vaccinations.
I'm sure microchipping isn't
Microchip.
cheap, right?
No, no. And I mean, I guess neutering vaccinations, if you were to do that at a private vet, it would be quite expensive. So, yeah, and then also they are treated, and also if they have any medical issues while they're with us, a lot of the cats have dentals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them need various operations, treatments, things like that. So that's all. It all goes to them.
Do you happen to know how Battersea came up with the idea of Gaming to the Rescue?
I think that we have a member of staff in our fundraising team who's like really into gaming. I want to say that, and then they reached out, and we do know that certainly during COVID, a lot of people probably were indoors, and
Right.
doing things that they, a lot more gaming maybe because they weren't able to go out as much, and so maybe it just became more popular and a way of supporting charity, is
Yeah.
to kind of be, I guess, sponsored through, when you're streaming while gaming, I guess. And that's my trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about when I'm doing streaming.
No, I ask because I think it's a really cool and unique idea, and you're totally right. Like if people are playing video games and streaming already, and if they love
Why not?
animals, why not,
Yeah.
help out a place like Battersea and
Yeah.
help them take care of some animals. I think it's a really good cause, and I'm actually quite proud that NZXC is able to support it in any way we can.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I've
Trishna,
heard,
by the way, right?
Yeah, Trishna for setting all this up. Thank you.
I've heard that gamers tend to be like animal lovers, I don't know if that's a thing, but
I think
yeah, they
that's
can
true,
be,
actually. I don't know why
yeah.
that is. I wonder why.
I think it's because after getting yelled at in Call of Duty for like 5 hours, the last thing you want to do is talk to another human being. So you just go pet your
Probably
cat
true.
or you go pet your dog. But
like
for
like
those,
therapy animals.
yeah, yeah. But for those who are wondering like how this money helps, this is right off their website. So they're saying here that like 50 pounds could pay for vaccinations for like up to 14 animals. $100 could pay for an essential welcome kit for dog or cat. 300 could go for a mums and pups bundle. Do you know what a mums and pups bundle is? That sounds really cute, but
Mums and pups bundle.
yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
I wonder if that means the actual caring for, because when we have sort of like a cat with her kittens or a
Uh-huh.
dog with puppies, we're caring for them throughout the entire process that mom
Right.
is caring for the dogs and
Okay.
puppies. So that's a good 10 weeks. So it's
Mhm.
quite, quite a long while.
All
A lot
right.
of resources to me.
And I guess besides Gaming to the Rescue, how else can people get involved and support Battersea?
Yeah, well, we also run a lot of like challenge events, and so we every year one of our biggest events is called Muddy Dog, and it's essentially where you go through a very muddy obstacle course with your dog and raise money to do that. It's a
Awesome.
huge, it's a massive event. Everybody loves it, and we do it all over the country. And also, not even raising money, but we operate with we have volunteers that dedicate their time to coming here every day and helping to feed and feed the animals and clean out their pens and walk the dogs and foster carers as well that foster cats and dogs for us that aren't coping in the catchery and the kennels. So we actually, people giving up not only potentially funds to us, but their time, and we're really really grateful for that because we can't operate without those people.
Yeah, I just looked up the Muddy Dog Battersea challenge, and it looks super cool.
It's huge. It's massively popular.
Yeah, it looks like you guys do it in a bunch of locations too, which is awesome.
Yeah, throughout the UK, and we get loads of people. It's one of our biggest events, so it's quite big.
You should do that, Dennis, with Picasso.
Do the muddy dog.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can find a video of it. Maybe you can watch it. There's just like
There's
a
videos of previous ones.
yeah. Let me see here. I can pull this
And,
up right
and
now.
it's a it's a 2.5K or 5K obstacle course. That's kind of challenging.
I've never done it, so I don't know.
Wow.
I would never. I couldn't do it. It's hard, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
All right, I found something here.
They do amazing work for dogs and cats. I wanted to give something back to those dogs less fortunate. We wanted to raise money for Battersea because we're both dog lovers and we've rescued dogs ourselves.
Those dogs do be muddy.
It's such a worthy cause, and people really should pay more support to Battersea, because Battersea's work is fantastic in terms of rehoming and repairing. Dogs are just a great part of society.
We actually
That is way too
Barley
cute.
from Battersea.
Oh, she's freaking out because we're playing we're playing dog noises.
To our family that we wanted to help raise money for Battersea today.
Everyone's here for a reason to enjoy being out with the dog in the fresh air and raise money.
It's not too tough for people like us. We're not runners. We're doing it for the love. Like,
Do it for the love, folks. Go get muddy.
My favourite obstacle was probably the ball pool, and Isla's favourite obstacle was anything that was wet and muddy.
As soon as we saw it, we decided that it was a team building event for us.
I know for myself, I'm a massive lover of animals and I wanted to give something back, so I will definitely recommend it. The atmosphere is amazing, everyone's really friendly and helpful, and the obstacles aren't as tough as you think.
They've set it up really, really well. There's lots of volunteers around the whole track. Everyone here is like really dog friendly, so they're all wanting to say hello, and it's just really nice. It's really great.
An overweight middle-aged woman with a pinned leg and arthritis can do it, anyone can.
Oh, damn.
Money with your dog. It's great fun.
Absolutely. Amazing adventure.
If you're an animal lover, like, you have to do it.
It's just a brilliant day out, really friendly people.
Muddy and fun. Thoroughly recommend.
Do it.
That's it. Muddy and fun, right?
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I think it's super cool that you guys are raising money in really creative ways. You're not just asking people for money. You're like, challenging them to do stuff like this. It's really cool.
Yeah, we've also just done. We're doing a campaign right now. It's called Wear Blue for Rescue, and it's encouraging. So I have a little tag on, and it's encouraging people to wear blue to promote rescue animals. And we recently just had Tom Hardy with one of our Wear Blue for Rescue shirts on, because he's promoting his new film, Venom 2. And I think it almost crashed our website when we put the video of him wearing the shirt, and he's like answering questions. That the little questions were placed on these two dogs, their collar, and the dogs trotted up to him, and he'd take the question from their collar, and these two dogs just milling around, and yeah, it was quite popular. So yeah, that's just to encourage rescue animals.
Dennis, get Tom Hardy on the podcast next week, please, so we can ask him about this.
I would love to have Tom Hardy on the podcast. Are you kidding me? I can ask some questions about Batman.
I'm just gonna leave Marina now because she's gone to bed. If that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Good night, Marina.
Good night.
Now she's coming back down, but I think she's. Do you want to come back? Okay, she's come back down, so you can have a little bit more. All right.
Seems like a really sweet cat.
She's actually the mom of the kittens that we were just in with.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's adorable. I mean, that's pretty much all the questions we have from us, and I know we might have some questions from the community. If you folks have any questions for Joe about Battersea and the work that they do, please ask in the chat, and we'll
I have
we'll
a question
let you
for
know.
Joe.
Oh yeah, what's the question?
What is your favorite video game animal?
Video game animal.
Yeah.
Garfield.
I'm trying to think of something sort of warm and fuzzy, but I really enjoy the dragons in Skyrim. That's probably because of the connection to Game of Thrones.
Dragons are real animals, so that counts.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I always feel
exist.
bad when I have to kill them. So
Here's a question from Purple Radish. So Purple Radish wants to know, what is a normal day like at Battersea?
well, I'll give you a normal day in terms of caring for the cats. So we start at 8 o'clock, and the team come in and they check all the cats first thing to make sure everyone's okay, and then they feed them, they change their litter tray, they clean out their pen and give them fresh water, make sure that they're all fine if they need their blankets refreshed or anything like that. And then all of the cats in our care, some of them might need extra socializing or extra enrichment like toys or somebody to sit with them to, if they need company to help them feel safe and to eat. And then all of the cats also have to be, so we do an assessment of them to create a picture of what they are so that they can then be matched to the right home. So the care team will do an assessment, maybe a couple a day. And then throughout the day, we do have people coming on site. Well, we have people who have booked an appointment to come and potentially rehome a cat. So we'll go and meet with them and find out what they're after and what their home is like and try to match them with a cat that's suitable for them. And then again in the afternoon, it's feeding and cleaning the cats again, making sure they're all happy and safe. We do have the vets coming as well throughout the day to check on the cats and to check on any cats that have had operations, administer medication. And yeah, so it's a lot of, it's hard work. It's 8 to 5 every day. We're open 24 hours. So we have staff, we have security on site 24 hours because we often get cats and dogs coming in, being brought in after hours. So there is always someone here to make sure.
Sounds like a very busy day.
It's quite busy. It's quite full on, yeah.
Skavira wants to know, how many animals do you actually want to take home with you?
Me personally, there's always the odd sort of old, disheveled, usually black cat that I just love the oldies and I love black cats. But I already have 2 cats at home and they wouldn't be very happy if I brought anything else home. So,
what are your cats' names?
They are called Clementine and Puffin.
Puffin,
like that. That's a cute name.
Like the bird.
Yeah. Kind of a related question here, but I'm Smart Dumb asks, do you get to keep any of the pets that you rescue?
Me personally, yeah. So if we have had staff rehome, cats and dogs that if they've become quite close to them. So we definitely do have cats and dogs that get rehomed by staff. Sometimes volunteers as well fall in love with an animal and they end up rehoming them as well. So it does happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making me want to adopt a cat now for my daughter. I might have to.
You should.
Yeah.
Cats are pretty chill. Just make sure you you give them little clippies on their nails every now and then so they don't scratch you up.
Yeah, they're actually like a litter of kittens a couple months ago. I found them in my backyard. I have a couple sheds, and I found them hiding back there. And I started giving them water and like food here and there, and like they just disappeared one day. So I don't know what happened to them. I feel like the mom might have moved them or something. Like do you know if like is that a thing? I've never seen that before. Like this is the first time I've ever had like a litter just show up in my backyard like that, and like they were there for like a week and then they just disappeared. So
yeah, that happens quite a bit. Where if you have a feral cat who gives birth and stuff, like they'll find a shed or somewhere safe and warm to give birth, and then they could stay there. And if something suddenly they feel is unsafe, they may decide to move their litter somewhere else. So it could have been that the queen was a feral cat who had just happened to find your shed as a nice, warm, safe place to give birth.
I was scared I did something wrong.
No, definitely.
That's funny. So
Marina's gonna use the toilet now, so I'm gonna leave the bed.
Oh yeah.
So I have a quick question about Gaming to the Rescue. So I'm looking at some of the top fundraisers. Is this like total, or is this for like, so for example, we also do some work with Gamers Outreach. So they'll do a campaign that will last like a month or 2 months or something like that, and then that's when it ends. And I'm seeing here on the top supporters list, is this like for the current campaign, or like can I do Giving to the Rescue like whenever I want, or is it like during like a set amount of time?
I think it's whenever they want. I think because they can You can they can set up sort of like a Just Giving page or a fundraising page to raise money, and then if somebody wanted to, do that themselves, yeah, anybody can sort of fundraise for us and or donate on our behalf. That's something that they can absolutely do at any time.
Okay, cool.
So we have another question here from the English gentleman. Well, they asked if Battersea was in London, and I said yes. And then they followed up with a question that said, I have no idea what this is regarding, but they asked, have they finished building up 9 Elms yet?
So that's the area that's kind of our area, and it's still very much lots of office blocks and flats and things are still going up. So that's an interesting question. I guess he must be familiar with the area, but
he is the English gentleman.
Yeah, he would know.
I guess so. No, it's still every day there's new office buildings and things going up. So still very much a progress going on.
Daniel T 1988 wants to know, have any cats or dogs become infamous with the Battersea staff?
Infamous?
Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely had a fair share. So I mentioned Larry earlier. He's the 10 Downing Street cat, which after he was rehomed to 10 Downing Street, we would still have staff sometimes invited over during Christmas to visit with him and to see him again. And then we've also rehomed a cat called Palmerston. He was named after a previous foreign secretary, I think.
What?
And he was rehomed to the Foreign Office, to the Foreign Office, another government office, and he was a pretty popular guy because we had him in the cattery for a while, and he lived in our office for a little while so that we could find out that, make sure that he was comfortable with the office life.
Right.
And many of the staff remember him well and quite fondly. So, yeah, there's definitely some favorites amongst the staff.
The English gentleman just followed up and they said that, for reference, the new fancy U.S. Embassy in London is in 9 Elms, an area just south of the river next to Battersea. So there you go.
True. Literally just down the road from us, yeah.
Now we know.
Thank you, English gentleman.
Thank you, English gentleman. really saving our bacon here. Our main bacon is well, actually, no, never mind. You guys don't do pigs, so I think bacon's fine. Awesome. I'm not sure if you have any other questions, but Joe, do you have any questions for us? Any questions for our community that you want to ask?
No, I just want to say, thank you to everybody who does support animal rescue and the gamers as well out there. And it's certainly a great opportunity to game for rescue. So just encouraging everyone to go out and do that.
You heard it here
for
first.
reference, Joe, you are a real gamer.
Probably more of a gamer than we are, to be honest.
Yeah.
I haven't played a game in like 4 days. I've been just way too busy slicing fingers off and whatnot. So, Ivan, do we have any last minute announcements? Yes, we do. I got them right here because I pulled it up. So first thing is first, and we've been talking about it all day. Win yourself a custom wrapped kitty cat and puppy dog PC. Ivan's got the link right there. Learn more about Battersea. Yep. Learn more about Battersea at what's the website? I had to click on it.
Battersea.org.uk.
Org.uk.
Yeah, that's it.
Org.uk. Follow Battersea on all social media platforms. Some of the social names are a little different than others, so I would say go to the website. At the bottom of the page, all the links are there. Their Facebook, their Twitter, their YouTube, their TikTok. You guys want to see some cats and dogs? They're on TikTok, and also Instagram. And if you want to send them an email. Oh, sorry, newsletter. It's a newsletter. I just saw the mail button, and I'm like, I guess you want to ask them a question via email. That's a thing. Go for it. And also, this is a NZXT one. We launched a bunch of stuff. I'm sure you guys have been paying attention to all our social medias. We launched a bunch of stuff. NZXT.com. And personally, check out our TikTok. Doing a lot of work on there. We're throwing up a lot of cool content.
We should do a duet with Battersea on TikTok. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we should. We should do like the Battersea, I don't know, lift your dog up contest. I have no idea. I don't know.
Muddy dog TikTok challenge.
Muddy dog TikTok. There you go. throw your phone into a pile of mud for donations.
We do have one last minute quick question from the English gentleman, and I'm going to let it slide because he is a gentleman. So they want to know if we want to give a home to a cat, but aren't necessarily local, do they allow that kind of thing?
Yeah, we rehome to all over the UK. And yeah, when they say local, I assume they mean they're still in the UK, but just not in London. But obviously, we tend not to rehome to other countries. It's not easy to ship a cat to another country. But no, we do rehome to all over the UK. We've had people come as far as from as far as Wales, Scotland, and yeah, we definitely will rehome.
Yeah, I think I drove like 3 hours for our cat. And we didn't even know that we were going to take her home that day. We just like were meeting her for the first time. She looked really, really cute in her photo. And luckily, you know, it ended up being a fruitful trip. You know, we didn't have to drive back empty-handed. She likes car drives, apparently. She's a big fan of car rides. All right, folks. And with that, hopefully it doesn't blow anybody's ears. Prepare. One last minute thing. If you are listening live, don't leave right away. We are going to throw a host to somebody or a raid. I have it ready to go. Right, the raid's ready to go. It's one of our UK partners actually. So you know, there we go. We're all tying it in here, folks. We're keeping it in the family. All right, let me start this up. Oh, how terrible this sounds. Thank you once again, Joe, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
That's okay. No worries. Thank you for having me. Anytime
you want to hop on and just throw the cam on some cats and dogs, we're super down with it. I have no problem with that just being the entire show. Let's see here. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Remember to tune in next week at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the official NZXT Twitch, and follow at NZXT and Battersea on all relevant and irrelevant social media channels. And if you want to send us a question off the air, you can do that at podcast@nzxt.com. That email again is podcast podcast@nzxt.com. And don't forget to listen to previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Also, share the show with a friend. Save some dogs and cats. If you have room, if you need some extra love in your life, go ahead and rescue. With that, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Stay around for the raid. Bye.